Did you know that the Cavs win on Sunday was the first time that they had ever won an NBA Finals game? Hello and welcome back to the Sports Rant. Today I'm going to talk about the NBA Finals and the first two games that we've just seen. When I made my video last week about the NBA Finals and what we could expect, I was pretty confident that the Golden State Warriors were going to come out and win those first two games at home. They're so dominant at home, I did not see any chance of the Cavs being able to win, and I thought the only time the Cavs would win would be at home in Cleveland. At the end of that first game, I was shocked that they had even taken it to overtime. The Cavs battled and were able to put it into overtime and just really barely lost that game. I know that the Golden State Warriors kind of dominated in the overtime match, but the fact that they even made to the overtime was huge. That being said, Kyrie Irving was injured pretty bad in the end of that game, resulting in a fractured kneecap, and he's out for the rest of the series. I thought that was pretty much the death blow to the Cavs. I didn't think there was any chance. I thought that combined with the emotional letdown that the Cavs got after pretty much laying an egg in the overtime match, giving it everything they had and almost doing it, almost winning the game, and it still came up short with all of their best players playing. I didn't think they mentally really had a shot anymore, as well as physically. They were out shot, especially in that overtime series. And they proved us all wrong. The complete opposite happened in the next game, this last game on Sunday. The Cavs took it to overtime again, which shocked me as well as probably millions of people all over the country. And this time, without Kyrie Irving, they were able to pull off a win in Golden State, the most dominant home team in the NBA. The hardest place to win is up in the Bay Area. And without Kyrie Irving, LeBron James pretty much battled and fought his way, as well as a lot of players stepped up. Matthew Dellavedova played so well against Stephen Curry. Stephen really had some pretty bad plays in the last minute of that overtime to really seal the Cavs' win. And I thought that they played as a team. This really gives new light to this series. Going back to Cleveland, the Cavs are on an emotional high. They know that they can do it without Kyrie. They now get to be at home and have even more of a boost. If I were Golden State, I still think that they are the most dominant team, but if I were Golden State, I would be a little nervous. I would be worried about laying another egg and not being able to get back on track. The playoffs are so long, but when it comes down to it, it's really only 7 games. You've worked that hard. You have 7 games to prove it. And momentum is huge, especially this late, because you're starting to get exhausted and you're starting to really feel the effects of the last 3 series that you've played in. And momentum can be huge. That home court advantage that the Golden State Warriors had is now gone. And the Cavs now have that, and they can use that to their advantage. But like I said before, the Golden State Warriors are so athletic, and they have, I think, the best physical team. And if they play up to their potential, they're definitely the best team in the league. And they're going to have to do it on the road, and their shooters are going to have to step up. But if I were to pick any team in the league to be able to do that, I would pick the Golden State Warriors. On a side note, I thought the officiating towards the end of that last game on Sunday was pretty bad for both teams. I thought that they missed a few pretty obvious calls, especially the one where Iguodala and LeBron James went up for a tip. I think it was the last minute and a half of the game. Iguodala pretty much just grabbed LeBron's shoulder when they jumped and pushed him down. And the refs didn't call anything, and LeBron was pretty upset about it. In the end, the Cavs still won, but the NBA did come out and say that the refs did miss a few calls, not only that call, but a lot of calls actually against Golden State, that they had a few times where they fouled the shooter. There's a few against the Cavs where they missed. So hopefully the officiating is a little bit better. It's always frustrating when you have a game that close, go into overtime, and a few calls here and there can affect the game completely. And that is just a big problem if the refs are actually affecting NBA Finals game. You know, if it's in the first quarter or two, you know, you move on and the officiating gets better and it's not a big deal. But when it's in the last minute and a half of regulation and going into the overtime period, it's a big problem. And I think the NBA is kind of worried about that because they came out and said, we missed this call and this one and this one. And they pinpointed them exactly, saying, we take credibility, we take fault for those misses. They know that it's a big deal. Then they need to at least see the obvious stuff. Like a lot of the fans see on TV, and we get replay on TV, but still the refs, I think, need to step it up. So comment below what you think is going to happen in this series. Does this shift your pick for the actual champion? Does this switch to the Cavs? Or do you think the Golden State can get their act together and win? You know, it's 1-1. It pretty much, the series starts over best of 5. But it is in Cleveland. So comment below what you think, who you think is going to win, and what you think is going to happen. So that's going to do it for the Sports Rant. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see more videos and keep up to date with the major things that are going on in sports. Don't forget to like this video so more people can see it. And we'll see you next time.